Ukrainian intelligence officers have blocked the section of a railway used for Russian army's logistics in occupied parts of southeastern Zaporizhzhia region. The main directorate of Ukrainian intelligence posted a video of the operation to strike the railway in Telegram app on Tuesday. The agency stated that the railway was hit on July 1 after it was restored following previous Ukrainian attacks. On July 1, 2025, Moscow resident restored the rails, launched a military freight train, but another railway crash occurred. The enemy locomotive was disabled, the main directorate of Ukrainian intelligence stated. Earlier, last week, the Unmanned Systems Battalion 65th Mechanized Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces struck 2 Russian locomotives near Tokmak city in Zaporizhzhia region. The train, comprising over 40 cars loaded with tanks, containers, and likely ammunition, was effectively split in two as a result of the Ukrainian strikes. Separately, 6 drones attacked a Russian locomotive at the Bolshoi Tokmak station.
Ukraine has recently been attacking trains used by the Russian military. This time, the target will be Russian armored trains. Russia is continuing to rely on armored trains to secure logistics routes in occupied Ukrainian territory, according to state media reports. These rail-based platforms, a legacy of Soviet-era military planning, have been reintroduced as part of ongoing operations to maintain supply lines and repair infrastructure in temporarily occupied territories. According to Defense Blog, citing Russian state media, the armored train Yenisei is operating under the command of the Russian military's Center Group of Forces. Recent footage shows the train conducting what was described as a combat coordination exercise. The platform is equipped with a Zu-23-2 anti-aircraft gun, several Utios heavy machine guns, and a BMP-2 infantry fighting vehicle mounted on a flatbed rail car, highlighting its multifunctional role in both transport security and limited fire support, United 24 media outlet says. Russian military sources say armored trains are primarily used to escort logistics convoys and conduct reconnaissance and repair missions along key railway lines, in areas where road infrastructure is degraded or vulnerable to attack. Maintaining secure rail transport is treated as a critical objective. Armored trains are heavily fortified railway vehicles designed to operate in or near combat zones. First developed in the late 19th century, they saw widespread use during World War I, the Russian Civil War, and World War II, especially by the Soviet Union. Though largely obsolete in modern Western militaries, they continue to hold a place in Russian doctrine due to the country's vast geography and reliance on rail-based logistics. Typical armored trains include a mix of flatbed cars, troop carriers, command compartments, and artillery platforms. Some are outfitted with engineering equipment to conduct emergency track repairs under fire, while others are configured for reconnaissance and direct engagement, United 24 media says. In modern conflicts, their use is rare due to predictability and limited mobility. However, in Russia's current military strategy, they offer a mobile, semi-protected platform suited for rear-line operations. The use of armored trains in 2025 signals both continuity and constraint in Russian military thinking. On one hand, they provide a flexible tool for supporting rail-based operations in dangerous environments. On the other, their reappearance underscores structural challenges such as the military's dependence on fixed infrastructure and limited ability to protect logistics over unsecured terrain. While their effectiveness may be limited, armored trains remain one of the few legacy systems Russia continues to deploy with regularity, an echo of the past, repurposed for a war shaped by 21st century technology. Earlier, Ukrainian defense intelligence drones struck a Russian military fuel train between Levadne and Molochansk in occupied Zaporizhzhia, setting 11 tank cars on fire and damaging a key logistics route. The coordinated attack disrupted fuel supplies to the front lines and is expected to delay rail traffic for at least 2 weeks. Russian occupiers in the temporarily occupied part of the Kherson region are setting fire to their own positions and refusing to follow orders. This was reported by the partisans from the Atesh movement. Agents of the Atesh movement from among the soldiers of the 205th Brigade shared information about the intention of the personnel of the 1st Battalion to set fires in their positions. The reason is an attempt to reach the command by sabotaging orders, the message says. It is noted that such actions are not isolated and are a direct consequence of chaos, fatigue, and degradation of discipline in the Russian army. The Russian military is increasingly dissatisfied with the command methods of the commander of the 205th Brigade, Eduard Shandura, who does not spare his subordinates, sending them on meat assaults guided only by his own benefit. Atesh agents also reported that the current situation in the 205th Brigade is not new. Previously, the Scythian Brigade commander trained personnel in it and then received a promotion and went to the General Staff of the Russian Federation. Exhaustion, apathy, and lack of response to systemic problems only exacerbate the situation, Atesh noted. The partisan movement also says that cadets of the Military Institute of Communications from St. Petersburg are undergoing practice at the front, while the main building of the educational institution remains empty. Our agent went through the entire territory. The barracks and training buildings are deserted. Even at the checkpoint, where the cadets themselves used to serve, there is no one now. The reason is simple. Almost all the cadets were forcibly sent to the so-called special military operation, the report says. As noted, this is formally documented as training practice. However, in reality, cadets are sent to the army, often without proper military training. At the same time, Atesh emphasized that such actions once again indicate a deep-seated personnel crisis in the Russian army. As the agents noted, Russian troops are preparing assaults near Oleshki. At the same time, due to heavy personnel losses, the 28th Motorized Rifle Regiment of the Russian Armed Forces is being replaced there.